Hey everybody, and as I alluded to in my community post, that we will be talking about Kasumi. And of course, right next to me, we have Sumi. That's gonna talk about herself. And before we get to the topic, I'm not sure if I'm able to make the time for it, but whenever I do, my next podcast is gonna go deep dive into Persona 5 Royal. So that's something I'm probably gonna try to tackle before the end of the year. Um, but yeah, so this character, as a first impression, at the very least, I was curious to see what she would bring to the table. I wasn't, of course, I wasn't sure. Um, but like upon the days that Royal was originally going to come out, leading up to me finally obtaining the game, I had a feeling that she was going to quickly become my favorite just based on her design alone. Um, it's kind of not much of a secret. Um, but I would say there are some things I would want from it. Obviously, I'm very much happy with what we got, but you can leave that to the next section of that. But I'm actually gonna throw this at my Kohai here. So Kohai, what do you personally think of the characters of Kasumi? Like, well, your experience of the character, and then leading up to you finally, well, of course, watched my streams, but also now playing Royal. Well, if, whatever you want to say right now.
Well, she's just another confidence, um,
Mm-hmm.
another person I have to pay attention and make time for in the game, which frustrates me.
Oh yeah. My only issue, and this is gonna go, we're gonna go to the pros, but my only issue with her is just the fact that, yeah, in order for you to even considering romancing her, you have to, at the minimum, get her stats to 5 pre third semester. And the game doesn't outwardly say this, but you have to also get um, Marky's confidant totally maxed out before November. And to get the true ending, to ensure that you get the true ending with it, you have to add Akechi's link as well, as much as you can get there up to level 8. Um, so yeah, it's a bit of like work just to get that to happen. What do you have to say about that?
Well, if you want a romancer, you have to get to 5 before uh, the core Persona 5 game ends. Which is decent. At least you only need to get her to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So you can work on other things like romancing a character that you typically want to romance.
Yep.
But
For her specifically, it is a lot of patience. Let's just put it that way.
it's a lot of time management,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you need to get your stats up and all the other things.
And I was just gunning for her like 2 years ago, and I also gunned for her this time around, just to show it off in the stream as well. But what to say? Like her good points. So I honestly like her. The fact that she of course has a unique confidant, just like in the past game we had Marie with the Aeon. Well, Aeon's not exactly unique, but like, and then for 3 it was like Metis or something, but it's like um, she at least brings a bit of like a little bit like uniqueness to the table that I guess sort of just adds more to like the Persona 5 lore. Hmm. But in terms like the third semester, especially when you get there, you can definitely see like how she kind of plays in the role with like Dr. Maruki's palace at this point, and also to the fact that we found out that she's not who we think she is until we get there. That's pretty much all what I'll say to that. Uh, did you want to add to that too?
I just okay. I might have a little different view than other people because of my life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I don't completely validate on what she did. I had to deal with death most of my life, though, so.
Yeah, I understand. And let's just be clear: trauma differs from each person. Some people are very headstrong about it. Some people are not. But what really got me a little bit upset is the fact that Dr. Maruki, spoilers by the way, took advantage of that. That pissed me off. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
like I know that he wanted, and we'll get to we're gonna talk about Dr. Maruki as the next topic, but like a little bit about that, like the fact that he took advantage of her, in a way that make her think that she's her sister when she's actually Sumire Yoshizawa, like that's a whole bunch of mind fuckery to put it politely. Like I excuse me. Like when I played through that the first time, I'm like, now I understand why it's messed up. Like that's fucked up. Would you agree?
Honestly, the all of the I would say Goro, all three of the characters are fucked up in their own ways.
Mm,
Almost all of them are.
mm-hmm.
Really, all of
That's
them are,
why
I think.
they become in some view of society in the game, van of misfits, the Phantom Thieves, um, in one way or the other. Uh, but yeah, I became a fan because it's like, and the reason why I sort of just gravitate towards her a little bit, like, I know you have your own reasons about it. My reasoning is the fact that I'm a younger sibling to my older brother. I know the mentality of like trying to catch up with your sibling that is probably better than you. I that hits home to me a little bit. And although I personally never had a twin in that sense, but I as a sibling, as someone that has a sibling, I definitely understand that that rationale, that way of life. Um, and ultimately, I just grew to really appreciate her character. Like, it didn't like register all at once, but then when I really got to know the true her, it's like, yeah, I really adore her for that reason. Um, and I want to preface by saying, yeah, everyone has their own opinions, but I personally think that she's a valid character for that alone.
I just don't understand why they had to add another female confidant when clearly the males are suffering
Yeah,
off of.
I get it, but
pronounced. But that's just my.
I guess it kind of balances out though. We do
I would
technically
have.
have two. We got Maruki for the males, I guess, and he ended up being like antagonist, and we got her. But well, I do agree on that point. It would have been nice to have maybe a few more additional ones apart from the two. But
Yeah. Yeah, they did have Jose, but he's
yeah, he's more like in the same vein as like
technically not a confidant.
he's kind of in a interesting position. If you kind of learn about him as mini boss, but also not mini boss, but like secret boss, but also like plays the instrumental part in Mementos. It's like
You
I got
you would think he would be a confidence with how big in the story he is,
yeah,
but he's not. But original thoughts about Kasumi was that she would be the female protagonist that I
yeah.
was wanting
I
very
actually
much.
was.
I got upset
I
about that.
actually was believing that she would be like the P5 FemMC, like how P3 had their FemMC. But I was like, oh, she's a confidant. Okay, so that means I can date her. Like, I feel bad for the people that wanted a FemMC or a female. In your case, of course, female Joker, but we didn't get that. And
Like, Atlas, we want a female protagonist in a game, and then you took that away from us. That's kind of why I say Ringo being their solution, but Ringo does not replace that. Like we said,
no,
Ringo is technically not human, so
yeah, in the podcast we said that. Like, I just at least appreciate the fact that she exists. Like, I love her, but I can see the point where some aren't so keen of her because of her popularity. I understand that. Um, I hope in the next mainline Persona title that we do get a because okay, let's just put it this way: if they going by kind of like if we were comparing this to like JoJo Bizarre Adventures, they went through different like male characters. I'm not too familiar with it, but they eventually got a female lead. So it's like I'm not suggesting it may not be possible, may not be possible, but it's like that might be the direction they may go in the next mainline game. Who knows? Um, at the very least, even though it doesn't replace it, as you mentioned, Soul Hackers 2 has a female lead. So it's like, and I want to just preference by saying female leads have happened in other RPGs. Like look at Velvet Crow from Tales of Berseria. Look at Tales of Zillia series. It's happened before. Not just like a female alternative, but like, but at the end of the day, that's what
yeah.
it is.
Um,
So let me just put this just to get on topic. Like, what are some things that you do like about Kasumi? Kasumi, I guess, Violet in general,
mm,
if you can think of any.
I don't know because I've never been in that situation. Like I'm the oldest sibling of my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I ideally wouldn't be, well, besides her personality, everything else I can't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like, let's just say design wise, do you actually like her design? Like,
I think there's
putting
too many redheads.
uh
There's too many. They could have made her blue hair, or at least more uniquely. I would probably put like highlights in her hair with like blue
mm-hmm.
instead of just making her a straight redhead. And it's white, it's red wine. red, not red that she has. I should know. I edit a lot of her pictures.
Yeah, but I can just say that you do appreciate her design. You would just do it a little bit different, and I get that.
Yes.
What about her? I guess persona, her Cinderella, or like her
I
having a
I
Cinderella
snatched
theme.
her for female Joker. I snatched her second one because I don't feel like that 100% fits her. I am sorry. When people were diving into saying that it looked like Arsene, I kind
Eh,
of agree with them. It does
yeah,
not fit her.
yeah.
Why persona?
I understand what they were going for. Cinderella, all this stuff. It's like, yeah, she's a violin. I guess it suits her aesthetically, but you know, I get what they were going for. Like yeah,
But
yeah,
that's just my opinion.
right. hmm Um,
The only thing I like about her is her personality. Let's just say that.
yeah, at least that's something. So this is gonna go into hypothetical territory. Like, take away like the aspect of like what's already happened. What happened already happened. We can't change what happened. But let's just say if we're able to change what happened, would you have included her part factoring in Marky's stuff and everything like earlier on versus what we got ultimately in the end? Or would you like
I
not care either way?
I probably wouldn't care as much as you do
Mm-hmm.
because story progression needs to be a thing. And if the Phantom Thieves are doing one thing and Joker has to do another, that is too much on the player itself. Like I said, time management is not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And um I would probably keep it the exact same, but
What would you
I know
tweak?
you have a different opinion.
What would you tweak though? If you had to tweak something, what would you tweak? Just a little bit of something.
Um I finding out her secret earlier
Mm-hmm.
would be around Fataba's palace, but that would be about it.
Yeah, I would say personally, I would keep Marky's thing in, but it would be I would personally even somehow just write it may not work, but I you know how in sometimes in Persona 5 any dog you pick leads to a bad ending. I was hoping like whatever the dog you pick, the player has a little bit more of a direct choice. So it's like, say Kasumi was wanting to join in later on, it'll be up to like Joker whether that happens or not. It's like branching out of like kind of like I guess in a way that leads to like a kind of a different direction, sort of thing. Kind of like how in some games they like you get to have like a choice that sort of impacts the story a little bit. I might have put something like that, but I also like your idea of probably incorporating her in Ralph Fatawa's Palace. That would be also pretty interesting too. But yeah, I if in order to justify spending more time with her, yeah, learning about her stuff early would be also nice. But it we ultimately got what we got. So I think this about covers like what we think about the Kasumi character. There are things that we appreciate about her, things that we don't appreciate about her, but ultimately, I personally adore her. But I know that you're not too fond for your own reasons. But it's is what it is.
I'm okay with her. I'm fine with her. It's just I don't see why she got too popular too fast. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know why.
Yeah.
Probably it's also because I'm probably turned off with girls, so that's probably another reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you at least respect people that like her, or for
Yeah,
what it is.
I respect everyone's opinion. It's just we both have our opinions, and we should all learn to deal with that.
Yeah. And you at least respect that you're the kohai of this relationship. But anyways, um, I think that'll wrap up this discussion. Keepster's gonna sign off. Be gone, dirty demons, and I guess we will ballet our way out of here. Anyways, take care. Have a good one.
Been a little while, but I'm still battling. Moving fast while you just prattling. No time for me, no tangling. Hit you in the spot with no angling.